It is Wednesday, November 7, 2012, 10:11 p.m. Pacific Time. Up next, arsenic in your food. Our findings show a real need for federal standards for this toxin. This is by Consumer Reports Magazine, November 2012. And I'm doing this follow-up report because I've had some people asking what types of products might contain arsenic, more specifically, which types of rice might, contain arsenic. So I decided to do a follow-up video for some of you out there that were asking. And let's see. Our analysis found varying levels of arsenic in more than 60 rices and rice products. Organic rice baby cereal, rice breakfast cereals, brown rice, white rice. New tests by Consumer Reports have found that those and other types of rice products on grocery shelves contain arsenic, many at worrisome levels, it says. Arsenic not only is a potent human carcinogen, but also can set up children for other health problems in later life. Following our January investigation, Arsenic in Your Juice, which found arsenic in apple and grape juices, we recently tested more than 200 samples of a host of rice products. They include iconic labels and store brands, organic products, and conventional ones. Some were aimed at the booming gluten-free market. The results of our tests were even more troubling in some ways than our findings for juice. In virtually every product tested, we found measurable amounts of total arsenic in its two forms. We found significant levels of inorganic arsenic, which is a carcinogen, in almost every product category, along with organic arsenic, which is less toxic but still of a concern. Moreover, the foods we checked are popular staples, eaten by adults and children alike. See the chart summarizing results of our tests for arsenic in rice or rice products. Though rice isn't the only dietary source of arsenic, some vegetables, fruits, and even water can harbor it. The Environmental Protection Agency assumes there is actually no safe level of exposure to inorganic arsenic. No federal limit exists for arsenic in most foods, but the standard for drinking water is 10 parts per billion. Keep in mind that level is twice the 5 ppb parts per billion that the EPA originally proposed and that New Jersey actually established. Using the 5 ppb standard in our study, we found that a single serving of some rices could give an average adult almost 1.5 times the inorganic arsenic he or she would get from a whole day's consumption of water, about 1 liter. We also discovered that some infant rice cereals, which are often a baby's first solid food, had levels of inorganic arsenic at least 5 times more than has been found in alternatives such as oatmeal. Given our findings, we suggest limiting the consumption of rice products, and you can use their recommendations right here. Our study was a snapshot of the market, with many products purchased in the New York metropolitan area and online to gauge the extent of arsenic presence in everyday foods. It can't be used for overall conclusions about specific brands, but still, we found important trends. White rice, for example, grown in Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, and Texas, which account for 76% of domestic rice, generally had higher levels of total arsenic and inorganic arsenic in our tests than rice samples from elsewhere. Within any single brand of rice we tested, the average total and inorganic arsenic levels were always higher for brown rice than white rice. People who ate rice had arsenic levels that were 44% greater than those who had not, according to our analysis of federal health data. And certain ethnic groups were more highly affected, including Mexicans, other Hispanics, and a broad category that includes Asians. Reducing arsenic in food is feasible. We examined the efforts of 2 food companies, including Nature's One, trying to tackle the problem and learned about methods being used to try to reduce arsenic in products. And based on these findings, our experts are asking the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, to set limits for arsenic in rice products and fruit juices as a starting point. Rice producers argue that concerns about dietary exposure to arsenic in rice are overblown. There is no documented evidence of actual adverse health effects from exposure to arsenic in U.S.-grown rice, says Ann Banville, a vice president at the USA Rice Federation, a trade association representing the $34 billion rice industry. And we believe the health benefits of rice must be properly weighed against the risk of arsenic exposure, which we believe are minimal. Well, folks, you would think that they would say that, right? Well, but scientists warn of complacency. We already know that high concentrations of arsenic in drinking water result in the highest known toxic substance disease risks from any environmental exposure, says Alan Smith, MD, PhD, a professor of epidemiology at the University of California, Berkeley. So, we should not be arguing to wait for years until we have results of epidemiologic studies at lower arsenic intake, such as from rice consumption, to take action. His studies of arsenic in public water in Chile and Argentina helped to show that it causes lung and bladder cancer and other diseases. Okay, and it goes on from there. Now let's see. It talks about tracing the sources of arsenic. It says that it's a naturally occurring element in soil and water, and all plants take up arsenic. That's what the U.S. Rice Federation tells consumers. But natural does not equal safe. Inorganic arsenic, the predominant form of arsenic in most of the 65 rice products we analyzed, is ranked by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as one of the more than 100 substances that are Group 1 carcinogens. It is known to cause bladder, lung, and skin cancer in humans, with the liver, kidney, and prostate now considered potential targets of arsenic-induced cancers. Arsenic can enter the soil or water due to weathering of arsenic-containing minerals in the earth, and humans are more to blame than Mother Nature for arsenic contamination in the U.S. today, is what it says. And it goes on from there, and it talks about how rice absorbs arsenic from soil or water. And they mention 15% of rice acreage was in California, 49% in Arkansas, and the remainder in Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, and Texas. And it says what our tests found. We tested 223 samples of various rice products that we bought mostly in April and May, many from stores in the New York metropolitan area and online retailers. The samples covered a variety of rice-containing food categories: infant cereals, hot cereals, ready-to-eat cereals, rice cakes, and rice crackers. We bought products often used by people on gluten-free or other special diets, including rice pasta, rice flour, and rice drinks. We tested at least 3 samples of the foods and beverages for total arsenic. We measured specific levels of inorganic arsenic, and we checked for 2 forms of organic arsenic called DMA and MMA. And this is a PDF file you can download with the complete details of their test results. Okay, and the brands for which we tested both the white and brown rice, the average total in inorganic arsenic levels were higher in brown rice than in white rice in all cases. Okay, and so they tested, let's see, some samples were Martin, long grain rice, brown rice, followed by Della, basmati brown, Carolina, whole grain brown, Jasmine, Louisiana aromatic brown, and Whole Foods 365 everyday value long grain brown. But we also found samples of brown rice from Martin and others with inorganic arsenic levels lower than in some white rice. Okay, so they're talking about which brands and everything that they were testing, and it goes into a little bit more detail. Cereals, talks about cereals, different brands, I guess, or whatever. Diet changes, they changes arsenic risk rather. Okay, so you can read all about that. Seafood has a form of organic arsenic also, did you know? Okay. They did a lot of studying, folks, it looks like. Okay, and this is limit your exposure to reduce arsenic exposure. Consider limiting rice in your family's diet to the quantities noted here. Our scientists base these recommendations on a person eating just one product per day or per week over a lifetime. Okay, folks, and I'm not trying to give you diet advice or anything. I'm just trying to give you the information so you can make your own informed decision as to what you would like to do in your individual situation. And it's not up to me. It's up to each individual, okay? I'm not giving advice here. I'm just providing information that is available on the internet. And I thought this was very important because I think it's important for us to know about the arsenic and gosh, you know, anything to be healthier. Consumer Reports, there's their report there, arsenic in food, and they tell you how to read the table. And here's the table. Rice, and it's got all these different, looks like different types of rice, and all the readings on the right hand side. Infant cooked cereal product, ready to eat cereal, rice cakes and crackers, rice pasta, rice flour, rice drinks, rice syrup, rice vinegar, and so on. And it says how to cut your arsenic risk. Test your water, change the way you cook the rice, eat a varied diet, and experiment with other grains. Folks, this is an excellent long article. It just keeps on giving. Okay, and I hope this helps the person that was asking me for information about what kinds of rice. And, you know, my friend, it's all here. It's all here for you to look over. And please do your own research, too. That's it for now, folks. This is your follow-up report on arsenic in rice. And this is for educational purposes only. It's not for commercial use or profit. No copyright infringement is ever intended. And I do not approve or disapprove of the content because I have no way of verifying whether it's factual or accurate. It's up for you to decide. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Pink out.